Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star in the constellation Orion, and is usually the 10th brightest star in the sky. However, the star's apparent brightness is the most variable of any first magnitude star, possibly because it's getting ready to explode. Today, we answer Patron Robert Williams' question, on a scale of 1 to dead, how screwed are we when Betelgeuse dies? This is a fun one for me, because my wife is a little...
Ooh, are you talking about Betelgeuse blowing up?
Excited about the topic.
It's gonna be so cool.
Welcome to Bad Astra.
Fine, let's get to the science content.
Why?
We need to talk about polyamory.
Remember when Pluto was demoted to dwarf planet?
It's okay, man. We all make mistakes.
Isn't physics fun?
Is this being recorded?
Betelgeuse might be going supernova soon. Probably not in our lifetimes, but back in early 2020, some astronomers got really excited about its apparent dimming, which could signal an upcoming supernova event. But instead calmed down and turned out to not be the premonition of stellar explosion. But what if Betelgeuse does go supernova in our lifetimes? It will be as bright as the half moon, and the star will be visible during the daytime.
For like a year.
But from 1 to dead, how screwed are we? Short answer, not very. Although Betelgeuse is pretty close to us on the galactic scale.
Yeah, it's only 600 light years away, which is actually really close. The last supernova to go off nearby, quote unquote, nearby, was 1987A, and that went off in the Large Magellanic Cloud, which is only kind of sorta in our galaxy. In fact, that's, I think, 150,000 light years away, give or take. So 600 light years is really close. So close that we can't actually observe it with regular telescopes because it's just too damn bright.
You have very strong feelings about that.
It's cool, okay?
600 light years is still so far away that Earth would only receive a tiny fraction of the harmful cosmic radiation put out by the explosion. However, if Betelgeuse were only 10 light years away, that would be a very different story. Ozone layer just gone. Mass extinctions. Probably very painful deaths for everyone involved. Gamma radiation isn't great for you.
But anyway, the science. It's really cool. So I already said, it's gonna last for about a year. You'll be able to see this thing in the sky as this crazy bright point, as bright as the half moon, but concentrated into a point, so it's gonna seem really bright.
This isn't really the question?
So, I just want to talk about it.
Okay, go for it.
I mean, again, you're not gonna die, you're gonna be fine, people, so who cares? Except for the fact that it's really cool. Other cool thing, you can do a bunch of neutrino astronomy with it.
Neutrinos. Part of a balanced astronomer's breakfast.
Really, neutrinos are just these light neutral particles that are kind of everywhere. They are really interesting because they're going to be the first thing that reach us. So when a star goes supernova, it produces a crap ton of neutrinos, which is great. But those neutrinos are able to pretty much freely escape from the exploding star, and so they get to us a few hours before the light does.
If I have to listen to this every day, you have to listen to it once.
The light has to bounce around in there for a little bit, and then it gets to us. So we're going to have this early warning sign, and we're going to basically overwhelm a lot of our neutrino detectors and be able to learn all sorts of cool things about what happens when a star dies. Fun fact, we don't know a lot about what goes on in a supernova. We don't know a lot about what happens during the last few years of a star's life, or the last few thousand years of a star's life, hence the false alarm with Betelgeuse going off.
We've been quarantining together.
I'm really sad about this.
Before quarantine, she talked about being on planes, looking out at Betelgeuse, and willing it to explode.
I know that's not how it works. And there's a chance it's already blown up, and we're just waiting for the light to reach us, because it'll take 600 years for the light to reach us. But there's also a good chance it's not going to go off for another 100,000 years. So, we just have to hope.
Happy quarantine, everyone. So, on a scale of 1 to dead, Maybe a 2 for me because I'll be kept up all night by my wife's excitement, and freeze because she'll demand a camping trip to a dark sky, which, with my luck, will be somewhere in Minnesota in winter.
Also, it might cause traffic accidents. People do weird things when stuff appears in the sky out of nothing.
But for the rest of you, without insane wives or, I guess, werewolf tendencies.
No, just distracted driving.
But for the rest of you, without insane wives or a tendency to not look at the goddamn road,
Keep your eyes on the road, folks.
you'll be fine. No, you shouldn't be afraid of Betelgeuse. Unless you mispronounce its name 3 times and Michael Keaton appears. Then even Earth's magnetic field can't save you. But do you want to be scared of extraterrestrial radiation? If so, I got you. A big solar flare is actually way more likely to cause damage on Earth. Hey, hun, you want to tell them about the Carrington event of 1859?
Oh yeah, so that is the biggest solar storm on record, and oh man, it was a doozy. So we're talking about lots and lots of charged particles coming at us from our sun. Those interact with the Earth's magnetosphere, and they wreak havoc.
What kind of havoc?
Well, it all would have been fine if you had this sort of thing happen, say, 200 or 300 years ago, or even back in 1859, because it wreaked havoc with telegraphs, which wasn't great. Like, people were getting shocks from their telegraphs, but was pretty much okay.
But now we have,
An electrical
satellites.
grid.
Wait, did you say electrical grid?
Yep.
This thing's gonna take out the electrical grid.
Oh yeah, the thing you want to worry about is transformer stations. You're going to have blackouts around the world if that thing happens today. And again, it didn't
No, we
happen
already
that
have a
long ago.
pandemic apocalypse. And you said it was the largest on record. How long have they been measuring solar flares and solar storms?
Not that long. That was also one of the first, if not the first, recorded solar storm ever.
So
So we're kind of due for another, possibly.
we have no idea how frequent these are?
Pretty much.
So
So next time we hit the peak of our solar cycle, just worry a bit.
don't worry about Betelgeuse going supernova. Worry about the sun having an especially bad day.
But hey, you will be able to see the northern lights down by the Caribbean. So there's some cool shit.
Honestly, that would make the global blackouts better. Astra out. Thank you so much for joining us here on Bad Astra. If you enjoyed watching, please like this video, leave a comment telling us what topic you'd like to see next month, and share it with everyone you know. Be sure to also subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. And if you can't get enough of me, Eris, and Science Tommy, join our Patreon, where we post behind-the-scenes, deep dives, and other fun content. A special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who make these videos possible. Astra out.